welcome to the Chat Room, episode 4. We've been away for a minute, been a little busy as hardworking college students, but we also been having fun. Me and Ryan went to the Drake concert wearing my new shirt. It was a great night.
Nice.
Also wearing the Jivo hat. Make sure to cop your Jivo hats. Rocking it again. Always support my boy at Who Is Jivo. Jivo spelled G-V-O-H. So yeah. Going to talk about a few things today. Talk about how the Dodgers are now in the World Series facing the Red Sox. Going to get into our segments. Talk about a little international political news, which is very exciting. Actually, is pretty exciting, and it's going to be a good discussion. And yeah, so how you guys been? How's everything going?
Everything's good. Can't complain.
Excited about the Dodgers?
I am very excited about the Dodgers. Well, I'm more anxious than I am excited because Boston's very, very good.
So you have faith in them or no?
We have to play better than we did against the Brewers, and that's what I'll say.
Well, I think the Brewers definitely tested us, and
For sure.
I think that the Red Sox actually did us a favor because I would way rather be facing the Red Sox, even though they're a 108-win team, and we'll get into that later, than face the Astros again because
I did not want to face
they
the Astros
were
again,
our
absolutely.
daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Last World Series. And
How many games did the last World Series go?
7.
7.
And it was brutal.
Well, that
But it was
honestly, it was a good series,
Yeah.
but like that game 7 just showed that the Astros were the better team. They're just more prepared. Their bullpen was stacked against us. Their starting rotation just shut us down. Well, it felt like every game, and we just had to scrap back a lot based on the last World
but
Series.
each game was like pretty one-sided, kind of. Actually, that's not true because a couple games went into extra innings.
It was that magical game 5 that Kershaw fucking blew when
Right.
we had like a 9-run lead, and then Kershaw gave up like 6. Oh god, yeah, bad time.
But shout out
to be a Dodger fan.
Shout out to Kershaw for his redemption though against the Brewers. He had
Ooh,
threw
yes.
an amazing game. So that there was a lot of doubt on him, but he could perform in the playoffs and stuff, and he pretty much.
I think what killed the Brewers. You might be able to help me on this. Who's their reliever? Hader. What's his first name?
Josh Hader.
Josh Hader. So I didn't really know too much about him going into it, but I guess he's a total stud, and they keep using him, and they were saying like they're gonna have to get a win without using him because obviously he's a pitcher, his arm can only go so long or whatnot, and they were kind of betting early using him, and I think in it was like game 3 or 4, the one that went to a lot of extras, or was that game 4 or 5?
That was game 3.
The walk-off, Bellinger.
Pretty sure that was 3 because that's when we went up 2-1, right?
I want to say it was game 4 actually.
When we tied.
But they had used him in
Yeah,
that
when
one.
Because we won.
Yeah, the one that we tied.
I'm looking this
Just
up.
kidding.
That was it was either game 2 when we tied because they won the first game. We won the second.
Wait, how did
game.
we tie?
It was either game.
Yeah, it was definitely game 4 of the NLCS where we won 2-1 in the bottom of the 13th inning.
But they used him in that game. They used him in the game before. I think when they even won, when they were up 4 or something or whatever. But yeah, I kind of feel bad for him because he put in the work, always kept his team in the game, and didn't work out for the Brewers. I was pulling for him. The thing with me is so I grew up in San Diego. I'm unfortunately a Padres fan. And I you can tell me they suck. That's okay. It's nothing new. Whatever.
They suck.
Right? Horrible. So naturally, I wouldn't want to root for the Dodgers. But the thing is, it's like being in LA and with all of our friends and everything. I wanted them to go to the World Series.
You want to ride with everybody.
Exactly. So we could go to the steakhouse, watch the games, have fun. It's always an event. So that's why I wanted them to win. But if it wasn't for that, I definitely want the Brewers to win. I really like their team.
Well, you almost want the Dodgers to go to the World Series so you can almost root against them, right?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be rooting for the Red Sox. And I'm not a big Red Sox fan either. Because they're one of the
You're
big...
just naturally born not a LA fan.
Yeah,
I don't even know if the Padres and LA's are rivals.
No, it's funny because with the Padres fans, we're like, oh yeah, fuck the Dodgers. We don't, they're our rivals, but Dodgers no one even
San Diego.
yeah, you're in our division, but we're really more about the Giants.
Honestly,
sure.
yeah, you just give us a couple wins that help boost our stats in the first place by the end of the season. So honestly,
you're welcome.
I love
You love that cup.
I love the Padres.
Yeah.
You always get that cup when you come over.
Saturdays for the boys. I thought, and it was a fun series. It was kind of showed between two different because LA's the big market team. LA's the team that everyone knows about, and the Brewers, they've never won a World Series. They went to one 30, 40 something years ago. So they were kind of like the underdog in the way, even though I did honestly feel like going into it they were the better team, but just because of their smaller market and everything, they're kind of perceived as the underdog or the little guy. And I like their team. Ryan Braun, even though he had his steroid controversy or whatever, he's been doing it for a long time.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's been producing a lot. Yelich, he's a stud.
Yelich kind of laid an egg though in that series. He didn't do much at all.
He got robbed a couple times though.
That Machado thing was funny with his antics.
What
do you think about that?
I think Machado's a scumbag.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But you gotta love it.
Did you see the one where he slid into first base and he like reached his arm out, or second base?
I did, yeah.
And reached his arm.
That one, like, I'll vouch for him because you're like taught growing up to like break up double plays.
You're literally taught to slide with your hand.
They recently changed the rule because of Chase Utley being an asshole in like 2014 or whatever that was, 2015. So yeah,
I always knew you're supposed to try to slide through him, but I did not know about the hand.
No, you're just trying to fuck him up in any way, shape, or form.
Any like distraction or any like trying to get in the way.
But now
I have no problem us being the scumbag team. Like no problem.
It's kind of it's kind of fun playing the bad guy, anyways.
Who cares?
In a way. His first base play, or not his play, but when he was running down first base and he straight kicked the guy in the ankle, and it was funny because they were talking like back and forth, but it was in Spanish because they both speak Spanish.
Right. And like you can hear a little bit on the mic.
And the announcers are all over at the Spanish broadcast. They're probably having a field day, like knowing what they're saying or whatever.
Well, he said I wonder if on the Spanish broadcast if they're talking in English. Like he was making a joke. It was actually pretty funny. But I mean, but there's two parts to that first bay play.
Was it ever confirmed what they were saying?
No, I don't think. Not that I know of. No.
I'm gonna hit up Spanish Twitter.
Well, but the thing was the mic was like in and out, like you could barely hear him anyway, so you probably wouldn't hear it. But there's two parts to that play though. The first baseman Aguilar, like he had his foot on top of the bag, which you're not supposed to do, obviously. And it was a super easy play. Like he had plenty of time to get to the bag. Mm-hmm. So that's number one. Like people aren't really talking about that, but he literally had his foot on the bag, which is very suspicious. So I think my guess is that Manny saw it on top of the bag, and he's like, "Oh fuck this guy! Like he could be trying to trip me up." So then he like clipped him on purpose. Mm-hmm. That's like what was my first idea, is like that he tried to like almost trip over his foot to make the first baseman look like the bad guy. For, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
that was my first thought.
Manny's just lucky because I think because I'm not saying you're wrong with that, because that's very true. But I think even with that considered, Manny's still kind of in the wrong, like overall.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and he's just lucky that didn't go left and he got hurt, because then he would have really been a dick.
Well, I mean, honestly, there was like almost no chance of that guy getting hurt on that play.
Yeah,
like, you saw Manny
he was very soft.
His foot, and it was just more of like I'm frustrated. I haven't been doing as well as I want to, because he had been struggling at that point.
I think he was 0 for 4 at that point in the game.
Like I think it was a combination of the frustration plus Aguilar somewhat provoking hhim, that he was just kind of like.
I really do think that Manny was like, in his mind, like really quick, trying to like expose the first baseman, like trip over his foot being on top of the bag. Yeah. I don't know.
No. It was only fitting that Manny scored.
Like I don't think Manny was trying to hurt him. That's what I'm saying. I think Manny was trying to like make a scene out of it.
I'm almost happy that it happened though, because then he started playing with a little bit of like a chip on his
shoulder. Yeah, sure he did. You see the swag when he's walking up to the plate when they were booing him?
Well, what happened was you could see it initially bothered him, because like he said like, "Oh, I don't care, like, oh, that's just noise," and then as soon as like he would go up to the plate, he would strike out trying to hit a 10-run home run, trying to make like crazy things happen so that the fans could just shut up and he could just hush out the haters or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you could see it did get to him, and then eventually he settled down and started playing with like a little bit of swagger going into it. So I did kind of like that it happened.
So did you watch Game 7?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And you did too. You were at the Laker game though, but you watched it.
Yeah, but I watched everything leading up.
Because I didn't watch any of it,
and then I had to watch it on like this little tiny screen off to the side.
It was our game the entire game.
Yeah, it was like 7-2 at the end.
6-2, maybe 7-2.
Something like that.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of like zoned out in the last 2 innings because it wasn't even close. But they scored. I think Yelich hit a bomb in the first inning of the game.
Yeah,
he hit a bomb in the first, and it was 1-0. Then the Dodgers came back and scored 2. Off of Bellinger hit a bomb, a 2-run shot.
That was a mammo.
Yeah.
Shout out Belly. I know you're watching this.
And then it was 2-1, and then it opened up in like the fourth or fifth when Puig hit that 3-run home run, and then it was like
I saw the Puig home run. That was a shot. It was like kind of left center, more center.
Yeah, and deepest part of the field, like just
and he
line
knew
drive,
it too.
powered out. Oh yeah, for sure.
To say I wasn't nervous though, even leading up to like the 7th, 8th, and like screen watching on my phone, the little like TVs, and looking in the suites during the Laker game. I was freaking out the whole time. It wasn't over till it was over.
I thought after Game 6, I thought the Brewers were definitely going to take it because they were at home and they had the momentum.
Absolutely. Yeah. But there was a couple chances that the Brewers had to score, like a few runs in Game 7 too, and so it was kind of close, but in the end they never even.
It's so fun when those baseball series go like the full 7.
It's free baseball, man.
Well, see, this is where I had confidence going into Game 7. We had our stud Walker Buehler on the mound. Because Dodgers have a really, really deep rotation. I think that's where that's going to help them in this World Series. I don't think the Red Sox rotation is as good as the Dodgers. They are good, but I think David Price is going to have his struggles in the postseason. He's going to continue to have them. Sure, he did pitch a great Game 7. I'll give him that. But for me, watching that Astros lineup, like what they could have been with a healthy Altuve, it definitely set them back.
But the Dodgers is just so dangerous, especially if they get hot, because you have, I mean, I don't know the exact order, but it's like Turner, Bellinger, Puig, Machado.
No, they're
Taylor.
deep.
Yeah, it's
deep.
Peterson,
Freeze.
like all just right after one another.
Yasmani Grandal.
Damn. Yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, they're dangerous.
Do you think that the Red Sox bullpen is deeper than Milwaukee? Because Milwaukee, that's
nowhere near. Yeah, that's another point that I was going to make is that the Brewers definitely tested us in that as soon as a starter came out of his 3 innings, we immediately got guys who were coming in throwing 98, 97 with some nasty stuff to go with it. And the Dodgers hitters you'd see struggled, especially with their approaches being so big at the start. I was really happy that they were able to like shorten it up, look for a short compact, like just hit the ball hard, get on base, finding ways to manufacture runs. Whereas the first 3 games in the series, 4 games, it was
struggle.
Yeah, it was almost depressing to watch. JT, I think it's going to go unnoticed. That Game 2 when he hit the bomb to bring us back when we were down 1, and he hit the 2-run bomb, put us up 4-3, totally changed the whole dynamic of the series.
Well, I mean, that's what we live on. We live on home runs. Like, we have the second most home runs hit in the entire, and second only to the Yankees. So.
I forget what game it was, but that one day, and it's just LA when it was really windy, they were saying the wind was blowing in from the outfield, and they're like, yeah, it's going to take a shot to get out of this field. So the teams are going to have to create runs.
Change their approach.
And I could be wrong, but I'm 95% sure like the Dodgers had lost that game. I don't know if it was.
I would believe it.
Well, the other thing that worries me about that now is that they're going to be playing the first 2 in Boston with that cold weather. And, I mean, LA, warm weather city. When they played in Milwaukee, they had a controlled environment. They were playing under a dome. So this is going to be the first time they're really facing that cold weather. I think this is the first time the Dodgers are playing in Fenway for like a long time. I'm not sure like how many days, but I know this is Kershaw's first start at Fenway Park, and it's just like surreal that it's going to be for Game 1 of the World Series.
And it starts over there too. And since it starts over there too, it's like they don't get to be like, all right, we get it. Wait, does it start in LA or
no? Red Sox.
It's going to go first 2 in Boston, then you got 3 in LA, and the last 2 in Boston.
And I just think the fact that it starts in Fenway in the first place.
It's tough.
Obviously, at the Dodgers' disadvantage because they are the underdog going into it, and it's like if they could have their first 2 games, like you know what, we're at home, maybe grab 1 or 2, but
it's gonna be tough.
Man. I say Red Sox in 5.
Yeah, Red Sox in 5.
You give us 1 game.
I mean, maybe 6, but Red Sox are gonna win.
Maybe Well, let's go ahead and.
I'm being ambitious with 5.
No, honestly, that's a lot.
They're good.
That's the popular prediction, actually.
Yeah. And I think the de facto World Series was the ALCS. Like I feel like the Red Sox and the Astros were the best 2 teams in baseball.
You could for sure argue that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I think we're just as talented though. So
I think that sure they beat the Astros, and I think that, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, the Astros scared me more than the Red Sox. But when your MVP of the whole league gets hurt in Jose Altuve, and you have to put Tony Kemp out in left field for the rest of the series, like that's going to be a big detriment to the Astros, and I think that definitely killed them, and I think that the Red Sox lucked out, and in turn, the Dodgers lucked out. I'll take the Dodgers in 5, actually.
Dodgers in 5.
I'm expecting some.
Are the Red Sox healthy?
Yeah.
All right.
They're healthy.
Everybody's healthy.
Everybody's healthy. But
Well, no.
Damn, I can't wait to watch
Who's
this
the pitcher?
series.
The Red Sox pitcher that rolled his ankle? Forget his name. He's questionable, like day by day, or day to day.
Is he a starter?
Yeah. He got pulled out in like the
Porcello?
second. No.
See, look
it up.
It's not Eovaldi. Let's see. This is all like.
But fair warning,
So-
this episode's probably going to be up after maybe Game 1 has already happened.
Oh, man, probably on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Kershaw's
so-
gonna throw a 9-inning shutout in Game 1, so this is my prediction. I'm hoping I'm watching this back with a big smile on my face, not tears streaming
I'm
down.
going to say fuck it. Red Sox win 4-2 Game 1. JD Martinez goes deep twice.
Ooh.
Twice. Off Kershaw? No
I'm
shot.
just throwing shit out there to where I can watch it back and be like, oh shit.
What an idiot!
You want the hot take? All right, so I forgot what I was gonna say, but my prediction is Dodgers in 7.
Dodgers in 7. See, that was gonna be my backup
Are you
prediction.
just saying that, or you really think that?
I really think that. I think that the only chance for us to win it is it's going to take us 7 games to win it. I think. But I think that. Oh, this is what I was going to say. So I believe that the Dodgers are way more deep, like in the dugout, and in the World Series, you pinch hit for the pitcher, right?
all the time, or only when they're playing it?
Well, let me explain it. Let me explain it. So the American League has the designated hitter, in which they get to put in any guy to hit for any guy. Generally, they'll use it for the pitcher. When they play in Boston, that's the American League. They'll be able to use the DH. When they come to LA, this is where.
Okay. See, I thought it was just one the whole time.
Their plan is. Did you hear what their plan is?
Uh-uh.
They're going to put Mookie Betts at second base because he came up as a middle infielder in their organization. Now he's all-star outfielder.
Right.
And they're going to put JD Martinez out in the outfield.
Because JD Martinez.
Because they're not going to have, JD Martinez.
So then they're taking their second baseman, whoever that is.
Right.
Who I don't know.
Exactly.
But the pitcher still has to hit.
But what we're saying is they're gonna keep their depth.
They want JD Martinez still in that line.
They want him hitting, a full game.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Okay, that's fair. But my argument, so that's what they're saying that they're going to do in LA in order to keep.
So they're
JD Martinez
and then that gives them Kinsler off the bench to use because Kinsler's their everyday second baseman.
All I'm saying is we have like 4 pinch hitters that can hit. Like our dugout is very deep in that. Or in our infield, our outfield is very, very versatile. Like we can move anybody, basically anywhere.
I feel like the Dodgers have just as high, if not higher, ceiling than the Red Sox.
I agree.
Obviously, their 108 win season speaks for their consistency and just ability to show up every day.
But all I was saying though is why I asked that was because when we're in Boston, we get one of our guys who is really good that now gets to hit every game or every inning.
Probably gonna be Matt Kemp. He hits lefties really well. You got Game 1, Game 2, 2 lefties from Boston in
Price.
Chris Sale and David Price.
Wasn't that Chris Sale? That was the one that rolled his ankle.
No, Chris Sale. I looked it up. That's the one with the illness where they joked and they said.
Didn't he get his belly button?
No, that was somebody.
Put that picture up of
Chris
Sale's.
I was just playing Xbox with Blake, and he was all on the mic. He's like, "I just found out that Chris Sale was out because his belly button got infected."
No,
I was like, "Are you serious?"
I think a teammate tipped a reporter that, and it ended up being a total joke.
Yeah.
It's just
hilarious.
some great locker room stuff going on.
That is honestly so hilarious.
Well, yeah, but
somebody got hurt. Maybe it was a Astro, but somebody got hurt. They got pulled like a second inning. Anyway,
So
I thought it was Chris Sale.
Red Sox in 5,
Dodgers
in
in
7.
Dodgers in 5 because you got to give it to Kershaw Game 1. I'll give Ryu over Price because Price is struggling. I'll give Buehler the nod in Game 3 over Porcello. That's I think going to be the closest game. Game 4, I'll give Eovaldi the win over Hill. And then I got Kershaw coming back Game 5 and just doing it, putting LA on his back, winning that MVP. As he's had this whole monkey on his back about not being able to get it done. I think this is the year he finally gets it done.
It'll be fun.
I agree.
I've had some champagne on ice since Game 7 of the World Series last year.
This is
so
true.
I just need to pop that open.
Yeah.
And just shower myself with it. So
no, I
hopefully we
like
get some
all that,
content for the chapter room Instagram off that.
I like that, but I mean, I'll give
that'll be lit.
I'll give Kershaw both games too, but it all comes down to whether or not we hit, because that's literally the only way we win baseball games.
Also, maybe rioting. So if you catch me in LA,
Yeah,
hopefully you'll catch me in LA.
So yeah, that'll be cool. Another big news: we got the Mega Millions lottery. It was over $1 billion. I bought 5 tickets on Friday.
Me too.
My stepdad Venmoed me because he when the lottery gets that big, he likes to just buy a bunch of tickets and like take pictures or whatever, like how they do. So that way he just has a bunch of opportunities. So he Venmoed me. He's like, go buy 5 right now, send me a picture, and if you win, I'll give you half. I'm like, shit, well, half of $1 billion, even after taxes.
Well, we need to look up the new number, because that was...
Yeah, well, it's
so what's it at now?
1.6, but they're estimating that it might even reach $2 billion.
Oh, because there was no winners on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
So
when
nobody
they
won
pull
based
on
on that
Friday?
drawing.
I didn't.
Yeah, Friday night, and there was no winners.
So today's Monday, so... If it doesn't get picked on Friday, then it'll be $2 billion, or it'll be $2 billion for the pick on Friday.
It depends how many people are buying it.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm just asking what they're estimating.
Yeah, it was estimated at 1.6, but now they're saying as high as 2.
Oh, okay.
$2 billion.
By Friday.
That's with a B. Billion dollars.
So that introduces us to this week's Ask the Room.
Yes.
There's gonna be like, what would you do if you were to win that money? If you had that money in your bank account?
It's got to be a reckless plan also.
Right,
We don't want any boring
exactly what I was
I'm
gonna
going to
say.
put it in the bank account and maybe give a little bit like...
You're obviously going to take some of it and save it or invest it or do whatever. Like, we're talking about, like, the shit that you actually want to talk about.
One time in one of my
right?
classes, it was during one of the icebreaker activities, one girl was asked what she would do with unlimited money, and she said she would invest. And I just thought it was the funniest shit.
Invest with unlimited money?
Well, if you have unlimited, so now you can have like unlimited and then
I would invest in things.
Jesus.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, so...
All right,
Well,
go first.
I'll go. My first purchase is absolutely a yacht. Like, hands
yacht?
down, 0 questions. Yeah, because I grew up with a boat, so like I've always liked being on the water and stuff like that.
You're just trying to brag really quick about your boat. So you just grew up rich.
That sneak flex.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you don't even need to win the lottery. You don't even need to win the lottery, jerk.
It's a 20-year-old speedboat. It's nothing really to brag
You should
about.
donate it if you win because you already have so much money.
I should donate the $2 billion.
Okay, so
boats for kids.
Any crazy shit about your yacht? It's like this needs to be.
I would talk about it. You rudely interrupted
Go for
me.
it. Go for it.
I mean, I don't. What do you mean? What's
Sorry, make sure your mic's not gonna fall off the table. I feel like it's really close.
my mic is fine,
Okay,
right?
sorry.
Thank you. Jesus.
Keep going.
Micromanagement.
My bad. All right, keep going. My mistake.
Sorry. So I mean, it's just gonna be
fucking train wreck.
Yeah. So obviously it's gonna be like just a massive, insane yacht, like helipad, Sea-Doo launches, the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no big deal. Just like a helipad.
What's it gonna be called?
Oh, I have to name the boat. Oh shit, that's a good one.
The big boat.
The big boat.
I would just name it.
The goat. No, the boat.
The goat boat.
The goat boat.
Oh.
The goat
I would
boat.
just name it. I won the lottery, bitch.
Well, so I would do a number of things if I had that much access to money.
So what's your first purchase?
Oh, the first purchase, I would buy that app TikTok so I could just delete it. Because that shit is so cringe, and I've been seeing those. But actually, it's kind of good in a way because, I mean, the content's there and it's funny.
Isn't it just the app that it used to be?
It's Musically, but like revived.
Oh, okay.
If you guys haven't, go watch Cody Ko's video on it, bro. So funny,
Right,
hilarious.
I'll have to watch that.
But that's my first purchase. That's the first thing I
That's
would
a
do.
great
is
fucking
I
purchase. Great purchase.
I figured my place in this world, if I were to win that much amount of money, is to just bring the cringe level down.
Well, that's Elon's thing too, or Elon Musk, the recent headline, the fake headline.
Wait,
that
I see
deleted
that.
Fortnite
Yeah.
just to fucking delete it.
That's so fucking good.
I'd probably buy a couple exotic animals and maybe some elephants. I don't know.
Elephants.
Fuck it. Put them on the 405. Fuck it. I didn't have that much time to think.
There's already enough traffic on there,
Yeah.
bro. You a couple elephants are definitely not gonna help.
Yeah. But
Ryan's just riding an elephant to class.
I'd open some theme park. I don't fucking know.
That's
I
literally
think they call
like
those zoos. But.
that's a theme park. I'm gonna open up a theme park of animals.
A theme park, but there's animals in it, and you can go look at them and pet some of them, and the food's like really expensive, and you walk around a lot, and it costs a shit ton of money.
That's a
zoo.
Just take out the rides and you're in.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just
no, there's no rides.
So it's.
But you can take a picture with a flamingo.
And they're all goats.
Yeah.
Now it's a petting zoo.
It's just a goat zoo, like the goat zoo.
An exotic petting
goats.
zoo.
All goats.
All goats.
And they're all named Billy.
Okay.
Except for the king, he's named William. Okay, sorry. What's your answer?
So initially I was gonna say like end world hunger or donate it all, mainly because I feel like that's the most reckless thing you could do. Like if somebody would win $1.6 billion and recklessly give that money away, it's a total asshole move.
Hot question, but if you were to give a starving child in Uganda like that money, not all of it.
Oh, he'd become an asshole instantly.
Yeah. You think he'd buy food, go grocery shopping, or
he'd go buy like
get an iPhone.
Yeah, he'd need service
Yeezys.
first. He'd go get some Yeezys, although Kanye's already out in Uganda handing out Yeezys to the kids.
They were
the children.
They gave them white Yeezys.
Yeah. Now they're all dirty.
You're gonna get dirty. You'd probably.
Yeah, he could have just handed them $300 each and probably been better off. Those poor fucking
It takes
kids.
him 35 cents to make
All right.
this easy.
Actual answer though, I'm buying some World Series tickets for like games 1 through however many it takes. Because tickets
Flying back and forth.
The cheapest tickets in LA are $700. Oh my god!
Yeah, I just looked at it.
$700. That's unreal for one game and like
Yeah.
the nosebleeds, bro.
The thing is, it's like if you do that, you better fucking hope it's a good game. Like if you go and it's like 8-1,
to be honest with
and
you,
they scored like 6 in the second inning, and then it's just like beat the whole rest of the
no.
night.
But if this is gonna be like a reckless thing for me, I would just buy out like the whole section, like behind the dugout. Invite everybody who I know is gonna get like rowdy. Invite like the fam. Have the chefs downstairs cook us up some good. Hang out with whatever celebrities are gonna be there, and just like have a blast. They would have to shut down like the whole section, I think, because like it would just be a big party going on behind home plate.
That's what I was gonna say. So like, would you get the like home plate where we'd all be on?
Yeah,
TV
like we'd all be on TV, like partying, making fun of Kimbrel, like all the guys do when he pitches. Yeah,
that's funny.
so
I know how he pitches, but I didn't know they do that.
Why does he do that?
Well, if you saw when he was in Houston in Game 7 or whatever games like he was struggling in, they started like mocking him. That's what he does, like to take his sign.
Right,
So like I know the Phillies had done it back in like 2014, and they got him to blow a save because they got in his head doing that.
No way.
So people from LA, if you're watching this shit and you can afford those seats, please. Well,
Go
bring
like
me
this.
and I'll start it. But if not, like you do it, so that way we can get his dome piece. Yes.
That would be so lit though, like to have a whole section like that.
Yeah. So again, we're gonna put that one up on Twitter for you to vote.
I won the last one.
Just know that if you're clicking the vote icon and I do win and I do buy those seats, just let me know that you that you voted for me. That way I can go ahead and shoot you a little invite.
There you go. Yeah.
Not cheating or anything here though.
Well, in shocker news,
Shocker.
we're gonna keep that, by the way. Alaska Senator Elizabeth Warren, if you guys don't know who she is.
I don't.
Pocahontas.
So she's famously coined by Trump Pocahontas.
Okay.
Let me give you a little backstory. So Pocahontas has always claimed she's Native American, has Native American heritage, basically flexes it. She used it to get into Harvard when she was younger, or I could be wrong about that, but I know for sure when she was like teaching at Harvard, she listed it on like all her credentials. They even wrote like a piece about her being like the first colored woman being hired to the specific teaching department of Harvard. But everyone kind of knew, not everyone at the time, but as the election was going on and a little bit after that, and Elizabeth Warren, she's a hard Democrat, was saying things about Trump, he always gives everyone the catchy nicknames, so he dubbed her Pocahontas. So in a rally or debate or something probably maybe like 6 months ago, give or take. I could be wrong, but in some time ago, he had a little DNA test kit or something like that, and he was like, I will give her $1 million if she takes a DNA test or whatever.
It's $1 million to the charity of her choice.
Yeah, charity of her choice.
Under the Trump name.
Yeah, under the Trump name. If she takes a DNA test and it shows that she's Native American, right?
So he literally just called her out? Like,
yeah.
Why did he have reason to believe that she wasn't Native American?
Because
She's
she doesn't
white
look
as
Native
shit.
American.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so I literally have zero
Ben
idea what we're
Affleck.
talking about.
You white? You Ben Affleck.
let me show you real quick. Let me show you. And I'll get back in.
She just looks like your generic, like, white lady. Yeah.
So she's trying to create steam
sense.
to run for president, whatever. She has no chance, like, from a unbiased. Like, I mean, I'm like obviously inherently biased, but there's obviously Democrats that have chances, but she's for sure not one of them. So she took this DNA test, and shocker, she is 1,024th Native American.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're like just as much as we are.
Yeah. Well, probably
Basically,
actually,
as much as everybody of European descent is.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't even know why she released this information, if she thought it validated her, but everyone was kind of laughing at her. So it was a big shocker. So they said it estimated between 6 to 10 generations back, so give or take like anywhere from like 350 to like 800 years ago.
And fact checker said Elizabeth Warren could be anywhere between 3.1% Native American or as little as 0.01% Native American.
Yeah. So there you go. And it's funny because
So Trump literally just called it.
no, and then she was even saying, oh, well, the people are still saying, well, she still has the heritage in her, but she said she was part Cherokee or whatever, but the actual like official Cherokee Nation released an official statement calling it inappropriate and wrong for her to be claiming that she was Native American and all that. So she's on that virtue signal grind, and she just got
Wait, but like, so
Whoa.
she use this to get into Harvard? Like, is that like the because I've heard of people,
or at least to get hired.
Okay.
Because that was, I don't know if she went, because I'm not.
Because basically you could just check that box on an application.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody's sending out
I
tests.
said I was gay on my college applications, because what are they going to tell me? No, I'm just kidding. But
Wait, what?
because
So,
I know, but I'm
so you're
saying
saying you're gay?
yes.
Wait, so
But I'm
you're saying
saying
you're not gay?
no, I am. But if you guys,
You're not
still
not
for
gay?
that, I'm not gay.
You just threw my
But
mind into a
anyways.
blender.
So, but I'm saying you can mark anything on your college applications to be
Yeah.
able to get into whatever. So that's kind of what she did, affirmative action and all. And she was using it as a token piece. You know those lefties, they love flexing their virtue. Sorry, we're unbiased, completely objective. But yeah,
No, you're not.
So it was pretty, but it was pretty funny how that actually came out. I don't know why she released that information, because I wouldn't be like,
Well, I think like she thought like it did
1,024th.
prove her point, and I remember reading headlines saying that, oh, you know, like there is some sort of like proof there that she is of somewhat of descent, like even though it is generations back, and technically like she could be like, yeah, like it's not as much maybe, but there is some. So
But the whole point is like that, like you've been like, you know, you're like a minority and you've been like oppressed or you've suffered in some way, and like she clearly has not.
Yeah, she just wanted that
Right.
the car.
yeah,
of her
no, you're
sleeve.
right.
That's like the whole point of like the affirmative action and that kind of
She's definitely
things.
more
And
on
she
the
clearly that was not.
More on the brutalization side than the victimization side of her genetics.
Yeah.
I want to take that test and see how much Cherokee I am.
My dad's side's
It
a
would
little
just tell you
Native
that
American,
you're
so
retarded.
I'll flex on Elizabeth Warren. I'll fucking run for president.
Imagine if I just lived my whole life not knowing that I was mentally handicapped.
Did you know I had a
Or whatever the
fear?
terminology is now.
I told you about this, right? When we were at breakfast one day, we were sitting there. It was me, you, and Sid. Shout out Sydney if you're watching. When we were at breakfast, and I just asked you guys, I was like, "Hey guys, am I like retarded?"
Yeah,
And you guys were like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, like, I just figured like a lot of people like me, and a lot of people laugh at my jokes, and like I noticed like." People do that around like mentally retarded people. I just put this correlation. I started connecting the dots, and I was like, "Oh man, like
Guys,
what if
just
I'm?"
tell me. Just tell
Well, I was
me.
like, what if I'm so dumb? Like like what if like I'm so like mentally like messed up that like I don't even know it, and just all these people around me are just like playing along.
Well, because like you don't tell a person who, you know, is born like that, like that they're different, right? Or like, do you? I guess you do, right?
I think they're very retarded kids retarded in high school. I pick on them.
I believe that you did.
Sub retard, no.
I think they're very self-aware though. Like I think I was just very ignorant at the time when me asking the question.
Dude, it was so funny.
Wait, we were like, "What are you serious?"
Yeah, I was like, dead ass.
It's like we were like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, just like I was thinking that like if I was retarded, I wouldn't know it, and like you guys could tell me like you're my friends." We're like, what the fuck?
Well, totally your friends because you're retarded.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is also after the sunglasses and Advil night.
Oh, that was
last night was mad real.
Did you get that Snapchat? Probably not. I think we were pledges at the time.
No,
but it's fine.
You guys don't Snapchat me, so
Exclusive.
But yeah, so that's a shocker.
Yeah. Also, shocker that I'm not retarded. So
that's.
But imagine getting those DNA results back and then being like yeah, you're missing half a chromosome.
Just be like, oh, you're.
Just imagine not knowing.
Like, oh, you're 100% white and also 100% retarded.
I mean,
hey, you made it this far, right?
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't matter, right?
I don't know.
That'd be hilarious, though.
I don't know. I'm not gonna take a DNA test now. You can go pregnant.
Just for that? You're scared of that?
Now, like, what if like chicks took pregnancy tests and they're just like, you're retarded. Same deal.
Your baby's
it's just like the news is gonna get to these girls like anyway. So.
Hey, don't tell. He's retarded. All right. In other news, a little what we wanted to talk about.
What a transition.
So, international politics. Saudi Arabia has just been accused of killing one of their most famous journalists, Jamal Khashoggi. He was kind of notoriously had an anti-government type reputation, and he was in Turkey, and he was in Turkey, kind of in exile in a way, or what do you call it, asylum, because he knew that the government was after him. So he went to the Turkish consulate to meet with these Saudi Arabia officials, and he never came out. The idea is that once he got in there, they killed him, dismembered his body, put him in basically like
some
a bag, some high level shit. Put him in like a duffel bag. There's like 15 guys walk out, get in these like vans, go to an airport, and leave on a plane. Like some sketchy
like,
shit.
and people saw all this, or
I mean, there was not
tape,
there was no obviously footage
of the actual like acts being committed.
But they see the cars leaving and the plane going
after he like got there.
They're
like, filmed from the outside.
They're just connecting the dots, like me when I thought I was retarded.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but
the Saudis are obviously denying it. The Turkish consulate is saying that they have evidence of audio evidence of what went down in the meeting, and you can like hear him getting murdered or something. And they're saying it was picked up on his Apple Watch, and saying because he had like recorded it in there. But in a video I was watching, they were basically saying that like that couldn't have happened because like he couldn't have been there was something to do with like the connection and the technicalities of it. Is like he couldn't have like gotten away with it. He would have had to stop the recording and like send it,
right?
Like or whatever.
Because if they don't have the watch to like
but people are saying so they don't have the watch, so it had to have been like an ongoing connection. There's a bunch of different things.
Called like a timeout though, like while they were murdering him, like timeout, I just gotta send this quick.
I think you're guaranteed
voice memo.
one timeout when you're getting murdered, but it's
he had to do it before the dismemberment of like his other arm, though, so that way he
was like, wait, before you cut off this,
or maybe it was dismembered on this arm, and then he was like, oh, that's really close to me now.
Arm laying on the ground, he's like, wait.
Oh shit.
Oh, rest in peace.
Well, that's like like when the chickens get their head cut off, whatever, they can still like run around. You think that was him? Like, sending fucking audio messages.
But anyways, so people are basically saying that theory's kind of like impossible in a way.
No, it's not. It's totally possible.
Not that theory.
He can send messages with this fucking separate arm.
Of course he can.
Not that theory, but
it's getting real spooky out there, folks.
just the theory that he could have used his Apple Watch, but people are saying that's a cover up for the Turkish consulate to say that, because they don't want to admit that it's bugged. But some people are saying like it's probably like wired or whatever, like bugged to where.
Oh. So they have that. They have the audio, but not for that reason.
And they have all his porn history for sure.
They're trying to make basically an excuse for why they would have the audio. Mm-hmm. So the controversy around here is that President Trump, people are trying to encourage him to either impose sanctions or punish the Saudis in a certain way for doing this. Or at least cut off this military sales deal that they have. So the Saudis had this big military contract worth over $110 billion. And basically the U.S. was granted the contract to be able to manufacture helicopters, tanks, ships, weapons, and trading. So we're basically getting that money.
The Saudi army with like weapons?
Yeah, well, they're our ally.
Right.
Because they oppose Iran. So do we.
Oh. Yeah.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend.
So basically, the deal, the controversy isn't with that deal, but people are saying, oh, you should cut it off or suspend it or something because of what they did. But Trump's kind of saying like, I don't think they did it, which he obviously knows that they did. But he's saying that because he doesn't want to give up that $110 billion military contract because it's through companies like American companies like Boeing and like arms manufacturers and like ship manufacturers. Yeah, not just for like the state itself
private
in terms
companies.
of the government, but yeah, private companies that employ people, all this stuff. And so I want to know, like, do you guys believe, like, morally, he and America as a whole should take some sort of course of action because they're like murdering a journalist and that's kind of like taboo? It's only kind of like in first world countries in modern society, like, you don't do that. That's a huge problem. Do you guys think you think morally we're obligated to do that, or do you think as far as Trump goes, you're like, listen, this was a Turkish citizen or Saudi citizen that was in Turkey, got murdered,
let them deal with it.
It didn't have anything to do with us. Why should we cut off those deals that help us?
I mean, people always say we should stay out of foreign affairs. The U.S. tends to get involved because we are seen as like that number one superpower. We are the moral,
the big brother.
Yeah, we're the moral high ground. We always step in when we need to. Sometimes when we don't. I think this would be a situation leaning more towards don't, considering that they help us a lot. I think that literally oil prices would skyrocket up our arses, and it's
gas already fucking.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. LA is fucking ridiculous, and with all these people visiting for the World Series, it's only gonna get worse. Why don't they just invite the Turkish consulate and the Saudi government to Game 7 of the World Series if I win the lottery, and they can come party with us and just fucking have a couple beers and chill out. Like, I don't understand why the Middle East is always bombing each other. Like, just watch sports, like, watch porn, just hang out, just be a bro. Like, why? Why do you gotta like?
Is that how you would like to watch your porn, Dick? Because in groups?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hey, whatever. However you get your rocks off, sure.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm just saying, like, these people are like dissevering members and sending stuff with severed arms on Apple Watches. Like, chill out, Middle East. If you're watching this, chill the fuck out. Grab a beer. There's Sunday Night Football. There's Monday Night Football. Just hang out with the boys sometime.
How could you possibly be mad with sports?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's just so much to be happy about, and just so many reasons not to dismember somebody.
But are you saying, so in terms of what we should do, are you saying we are in the right in not cutting off the deals?
Honestly, I think this is a really touchy subject. I think it's hard because, like, it's like a don't bite the hand that feeds you sort of thing, and our economy is really, like, boosted by the Saudi government, so I think it's one of those, like, let's just hope we can sweep this under the rug type deals.
I think that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So,
but it's just in terms of a principle. Do you think we should do something that harms ourselves?
Are you talking morally?
Yeah,
morally. Hey, like, don't kill people.
No,
we should not back this regime.
Do you think morally it outweighs the cost of us fucking up that $110 billion deal? Like, do you think that like, you don't have to know too much about the situation. Just, do you think it's right or wrong for us to be like, you know what, like, this kind of happened over there?
But I don't know how it affects us. Like, legitimately.
Well, if we put sanctions on, like, Saudi Arabia, they're not
Then
gonna
we
be happy
lose
with
that deal.
Right.
No, I
You know
know,
what I'm
I get what
saying?
you're saying. Like, I get what you're
Do
saying.
you think we should sacrifice our own
play the fifth,
benefits
bro. Just play the fifth.
Do you think we should sacrifice
why
our
don't-
own
why
benefits for
doesn't
shit that happens in other countries?
Why doesn't the Turkish government do it? Are they not powerful enough? I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
why
they don't
can't
have the
Well,
they don't have the clout?
It's kind of
So
like
here's the deal. Why don't we just get a contract with Turkey to start sending them guns and tanks and shit, and then they can handle it
they
on
can
their own?
just fuck Saudi Arabia if they want.
They just handle it on their fucking own.
Anyway,
just
go
instead
kick
of
their
dealing with
ass.
the problem, just give them the resources
Supply
to deal with it on
both
their own.
sides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we make more money.
kind of like we did at the beginning of World War II.
Let's do it. See, we
in my
probably
opinion-
made a shit ton of money off that.
In my opinion, I believe that Trump shouldn't have and he didn't do anything. I think he was in the right. He ran on an America First policy. That was kind of what his whole campaign was about, is that we want to serve our best interest. This happened in a different country with different people. Yes, morally, it's a bad thing, but at the end of the day, like, why are we going to sacrifice all this shit that happened because of one journalist in a different country?
What if
a citizen
that? What
of
if
a
that
different
journalist
country?
was your dad, though? Like,
Well, that's all I was
But
just
then
saying.
he's
I don't
not
know.
American. That's the
Yeah.
difference. Like, if he was...
If he was American, then I say like guns blazing.
Because then you have
but-
to, you have to stand up for your own citizens to where, but he wasn't, like, to where it literally didn't have anything to do with us, but it's just expected from the United States to take action.
the
on
moral high
anything
ground,
that's
right? I mean, like I said at the beginning of like talking about this, we are the moral high ground. We've always taken the side of what's right, based off what I've read in some history books and seen on some badass like war movies.
We're the police, you know.
Yeah, so we just
Big
come
brother.
in and we're like we're the good guys. So to fight or
Very
go
good.
alongside the bad guys would just sort of tarnish that reputation.
Yeah.
And I guess that's my main.
But now we getting this money.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, hopefully, like, this whole news, like, passes by and
Trump said, "Let's get this bread."
Let's get this
hopefully,
bread.
like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, make the contract. Like, I don't have an opinion. I'm just saying, make the fucking contract with Turkey. Let's make some more money off it, and then they can deal with themselves.
I don't know. I guess, like politically speaking, like,
To do what's best for us.
Yeah. economically,
How was that not Trump's idea in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, how can he make money off this?
We sell.
Come on,
I'm
Mr.
pretty sure we
Businessman.
do sell weapon systems to Turkey too. So
Well, rank it up.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Bring it on.
Let them figure it out.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. All I'm saying is, I don't want these gas prices to soar, but I also don't want people dying. So just like I said, just chill out, folks.
Chill out is definitely the right. There you
Yeah.
go.
Chill. Don't dismember people.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
So, if the Dodgers win the World Series, are you keeping the mustache?
Oh, I was thinking about it actually. I think I might grow it all the way through the end of November if they do win. Just that whole no shave November thing. Just wear it proudly for the rest of the month, and then as soon as that Feliz Navidad season rolls around, grow out that Santa Claus type beard again because I miss it. Miss
There
the
you go.
scruff.
I like the stash.
Do you?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people have been telling me that, but my mom doesn't like it. So.
It's a little pervy, but
I like
it's kind of your
that.
style.
As a beard having person, how do you?
As a beard having
Yeah,
person.
yeah, because it's annoying to not have the beard, to always be shaving
Right.
it. Like, has it been a nuisance?
I mean, to be honest with you, like the only thing that's like weird is putting on like shirts and sweaters. If they have like little fuzzies, they get stuck to like.
That's
No, it's like feel
ridiculous thing to
I swear to
follow
God,
you.
but like I have to like pluck them out, and it's a hassle, and I don't have that happen with the beard because it just goes.
I feel like my skin just gets irritated if I really try to not have a beard. Because, like, if I try to keep shaving it, it's like, I don't know.
I haven't not had a beard in so long. I literally
Yeah.
don't even remember.
I
You
think
guys
I'm just
want
gonna
to?
keep
You guys
it
want to
forever.
remember? Let's close it out with this. Just feel my face and just feel how smooth this is.
Wait, what's the thumbnail?
That'll be chat. That'll be episode 4.
Was that everything?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for
That's it.
tuning in. Hopefully it's up pretty early within the World Series. If
I
it's
like you
not,
guys a lot.
Don't give a fuck.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is Chapter Room. Twitter is The Chapter Room.
Yeah.
Dodgers in 5.
Red
Mark my
Sox in
words.
5.
Dodgers in 7.
It's a wrap.
Let's go.
Dodgers.
I feel very awkward, Nick, that I know your family listens to this.
Hi, Nick's mom.
No.
Who is your aunt, right?
My cousin.
Hi, Nick's cousin.
Yeah, I'm sure you upset.
And she roasted us. She said we weren't even funny. That's
Damn,
fucked
we gotta
up.
step it up.
That's not what she said.
That is too.
She said.
You said. She said her cousin, your other cousin, was funnier.
We have to be the funniest in the world.